What's up? It's your boy Karceno, and let's get into it, man. This is Hood Story, Volume 52. 52 of these things, man. Gosh, where has the time gone? Well, let me not waste any time. Let me get right into it. Now, as this story starts, I don't know if you remember companies like Quick Star, Amway, and stuff like that, where you have to buy products and all this stuff to move up a chain and you build your own team. And, I'm quite sure you're familiar with that. So, anyway, my cousin was involved in this Quick Star company and everything else. So, with that being said, he wanted to recruit me for his team, and I'm like, okay, well, it's a side project, no problem. So, one of our members we have on our team, we introduced him. We had a guy who does like the marketing named Mike. Mike is great as far as marketing and numbers and doing presentations. And whenever there's a question, me and my cousin didn't understand, right away, I call him, be like, so explain this to me. He'd be, you know what? That sounds like a Mike question. We're going to get Mike in on this. So Mike will be the one to come in and be, oh, this is what you got to do. And, this is that. And I'll take care of that. So Mike was like, just give me presentations and sits. And I'm like, the type of friends I got, they not going to be interested in this. I got a couple of friends over here, they bagging up. Putting stuff out the door, and he talking about doing a presentation for them, and he did it. And then I'm like, you sure you want to do these presentations? Then he did a presentation for my other friend. They wanted to do a presentation. Now this guy's an associate because he's a friend of my cousin. Okay, and Leo, that's his name. So Leo decides that he's gonna have it at his house. The guy was at a wedding or whatever he went to. Had borrowed my car. Mike went to the wedding, came back, did the presentation, and he was talking about the North Carolina trip. And he's like, North Carolina, are you ready? You're feeling it. They like, yeah. I didn't know that Leo was gonna get so attached to the situation. I'm just like, okay, he's here for this presentation. I was going to North Carolina, period. That was just it. I was already going. He like, yes. So he was charged. They was like, you believe it? Yes. So the presentation blew his mind. He was all in. I'm coming to North Carolina with you. Oh man, this is great. But also in his mind, he's thinking party. And I'm like, dude, hold on. There's going to be no chicks. Like, we're going for business. Like, I'm coming here for the first time. I've been to the one in Milwaukee. I want to kind of check out this one in North Carolina. I want to see the team, our other teammates, and, things like this. I want to see what's going on here. So I don't think he's, like, understanding what I'm saying. And he's like, in his mind, he's thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, business, all right. Now, I have never really ridden in a car with this guy before. So, I don't really know what to expect. I go rent the car. I told him we leaving out at Friday, like 5 in the morning, And when I say that, I'm dead serious, like we're leaving at that time. I get there. I'm already exhausted from all the planning. So I said, I'll do the first leg of driving, and then you could drive, and then from that point on. And then right away, he's got his boy, who I know. I actually knew this guy before I even knew this guy knew him. He's from the Guards, and he went to Carl. So he was like, yo, can y'all just drop me off? Y'all going over there and y'all can drop me off at such and such. I'm good. I'm like, all right, cool. I went, dropped him off. He was like, man, what's up with your guy's breath, man? Homie, man. I'm like, I thought he was your friend too. He's like, I just met him the other day, Joe. I was just over there. I'm telling you, on all everything, man. On the phone. That was his whole thing. On the phone. Yo, homeboy breath is tight. And he wasn't kidding. Like, I already knew the guy had a certain type of breath problem. But if you're in an open space, you don't have to be in range. Like, I never had a direct conversation where he's like right in front of me and I'm standing in front of his face. I normally would stand some feet back and talk to him from a distance where I don't have to face him. Now I'm boxed in the car with this human being. And I kind of got exactly what he was talking about. He suffers from some type of, I think, pyorrhea or something. I don't know what's going on. But it's, my God, it's in, you can't block it. Like, holding your breath, don't block this. It knocked that right out the way. Like, holding your breath, oh yeah, we need, get that out of here. We ain't done that. I'm like, man, that stuff come right in and intrudes your brain. You can't think, you can't concentrate, you can't focus. That's how powerful that smell is. And I'm like, oh my God, it's like a dead cat or something. It was horrifying. And I got to go to North Carolina from Chicago with this. Right off the bat, I'm trying to drive and it's cold outside. So I'm rolling the window down. I'm like, I got the heat going and he trying to talk. And every time he talks, it's like an intense searing heat. So I'm like this, driving. Yeah, man. I'm leaning my head like halfway out the window and I'm driving. And I'm like, oh my God. I had to just take stops. I'm like, I got to stop. I got just so I could breathe and get out the car. And then I realized, okay, we got to come up with a system. So I started playing music. And the more I played music, like CDs, he didn't talk. And which was great. So I said, good, I play music. And pretty soon we ran out of songs because we ain't had that many CDs. I'm like, look, I'm stopping at Walmart. I'm going to buy a whole bunch of CDs. And the game CD just came out, the documentary. I ran in there and bought it. I'm like, get me that right there. This is how we do all those songs. I need them all. Put it right here. Keep him quiet so it don't stink as much. It's coming through his pores of his face. That's how bad it was. Brutal. So as we are on the road, you know, we got a system breathing. We got the window open. You know, I'm talking to him from the side. You know, things are going pretty good. So I said, you know what? It's your turn to drive right now. So I said, all right, I'm going to let you drive. I go ahead. I pull over. I said, you know, you go ahead. You get over here. You drive. And he was all excited. Yeah, all right, I'm driving. So he gets behind the wheel. We take off and drive. I was like, okay, I can catch some sleep now. I go to sleep. I wake up. He's nowhere to be found. The keys is in the car. And he's gone. And it's not like we're at a pump. We're not. We parked. I'm just sitting in the car asleep. And I'm like, wait a minute. Where in the world are we? So I get up. I take the key out the ignition. Like, why would he leave the key in the ignition? And I'm in here asleep. So I get out the car. You know how you've been asleep for a while. You stretch and you're trying to get your bearings to like where you at. The light hurting your eyes. I look up. I see the sign. It says, hang time. I'm like, hang time? I'm like, all right. I walk into hang time. Let me go use the bathroom, find out what's going on. I go in there. As soon as I walk in, it's like, I mean, these are like old time, the black leather vests, tight blue jeans, big dudes with the burly beards. And I'm like, oh no, it was Duck Dynasty, everything. And they looking at Leo like mouth wide open, like a black guy just walked in to hang time. And then here I'm come in, big Wu-Tang medallion, gold chain on, stretched out in a hoodie. They like, it's two of them. What's going on today? So everybody's like in amazement, like, let's just observe them, like see what they do. And the bartender come over, she's like, Large Marge. I'm looking around for the restroom, and I'm like, well, what's going on in here? And he's sitting there, he's talking with some other white guy he done ran into since he been there. Yeah, man, hey, man, yeah, man, hey, you made it in, man. Come on over here and talk to him, man. This is my guy here, man. Yeah, man, he cool. We just sitting here. I'm like, well, what you pull over for? What you stop here for? Oh, man, I was hungry, man. I wanted a beer. I'm like, okay, well, you do know that when we get out there, I need you to drive. So I was like, well, I'm cool. I'll take over from driving now. I got me a couple of winks, so I'm good. So I can just start driving from here. But I don't need you drunk behind the wheel. So he was like, oh, I'm just really trying to get some food in my system because you ran us out of there early. I thought we going to get up at 5 and chill for a minute and probably leave out in a couple of hours. You rushing me out at 5. So then he talking to the guy over there. Yeah, man. He shaking my hand. Like, yeah, what's up? And the girl that looked like Large Marge from Pee Wee Herman, she had the red flannel, just like him, came over there. What you want, honey? I'm like, oh, no, I'm good. You got a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola? I can get you tap. I'm like, okay, well, I'll take the tap then. Just get me a Coca-Cola. She like, I was offended. I didn't want to drink a beer at 9 o'clock in the morning. And then these people are just watching us. They looking like the other tables. And then I'm like, all right, well, let me get my wallet. So I went into the thing. Uh-oh, he's going for the burner. He going for the burner. I'm like, what's wrong with your friend? I'm just messing with your guy. I'm like, I gotta get out of this place. I don't want to be in a place called Hang Time. And I don't think nobody in here play basketball. Why is this place called Hang Time? It probably was that in the 1840s. I'm like, we got to get out of here. So I'm sitting over there waiting for the lady to come back and bring the bill. He's sitting there, and I'm like, okay, this is nice. Where's the bathroom? I come out, he was, man, this dude, he was talking about what? He said, man, it's a club around here where the chicks just be out. We should probably stay here tonight, and then we could still make it to North Carolina. I'm like, dude, did you hear what I just said before we came on the road? This is a business trip. I'm going to North Carolina on business. You are going on business, supposedly. Yeah, you right. I'm like, I don't know him. He could be setting us up. I'm like, this place called Hang Times. Have you looked over there? I'm like, I don't trust nothing in here. Shoot, I'm like, I'm looking at everybody in there. They just like, they got on some Union jackets, some Union stuff. I don't know nothing about, like the Buffalo Lodge or something. I'm like, we getting out of here. We ain't paid no membership. We ain't members. We ain't got no dues. We got to roll. So I rush him out of there. He get his food. Come on, man, get your food. Tell him to pack that up or just pack that up. We got to go. You can eat that in the car. It's a rental. I don't care what you do to it. So let's roll. So we get out of there. We rolling, man. And I done stopped and found the gas station. And I'm trying to figure out, like what you do? Like, what's going on here? Like, where's the road? And next thing you know, I get to the, I finally used the expressway because, see, out there was no satellite phones where you could have your phone with the Google Maps and you was lucky to get MapQuest. And then you just had to go print the stuff out from MapQuest, because the highways didn't have the Wi-Fi all the way, so you was screwed. So you had to just print it out and then follow the instructions. So I'm like, well, okay, here's the instruction. It's page 1, it's page 2, page 5. Dude, what you do with the instructions? He had the window down and they blew out of the window and he ain't say nothing. So we missing 2 pages. So now I got to go back and get the 2 pages and print them out to find out where we going. And the guy was like, oh, you don't need all that. All you got to do is stay on this highway here and blah, 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 blah. So I was like, all right, we going to go. And we get back on the road. And I'm like, all right, now that we cool, let's drive. So he's like, man, you sure you good to drive? I'm like, yeah, I'm good to drive. And then I drove till we went to a gas station. They told me you doing fine. I said, let me print out some more, road maps, and, we get a whole new thing from whatever the Google place is. Or, back then it was called Kinko's. So I went to Kinko's, got the thing, printed it out. Like, see, here you go. We got a whole new thing here. It's all printed out. Don't lose it. Here we go. Here's the instructions. Stay on this road. When we come here, we turn to this. The highway gonna turn into that. Let's go. Anyway, I let him drive again. I got him a whole bunch of mints and everything, gum and all that stuff. Nothing was working. It had diluted for a second, but something's wrong. But anyway, we back on the road. We going. So as we're driving, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I went to sleep. I woke up. And you notice something's wrong. You got that feeling something's wrong. And I'm like, I'm looking out my window like, this don't feel right. Are we on the right road? He was, yeah, we on this. He said the number. I looked at him like, this ain't right. And I'm looking at the number and I'm like, dude, you were supposed to go, south. We're going north. He was like, we are? We were right back in Tennessee. After about a whole hour, 2 hours away, we were headed right back to Tennessee. We done lost 2 more hours. So I said, dude, we just lost 2 hours of driving. So I get behind the wheel. And I said, that's it. I got to drive. That's it. I got to take it because I can't trust you behind the wheel. We start driving. I'm making up time. I'm like driving like Batman. And this is Batman Begins driving. Just hitting it. Like, they're going to have to just stop me. I'm gone. So I'm making up time left and right. I'm passing cars. I'm pulling over for gas. I got to pee. Pull over the side of the road. Go piss. Get back in the car. I'm on my grandfather rules now. You done messed up a lot of time. So I'm like, okay, it's his turn to pay for the gas. We pull in. All right, go ahead and get your gas, And he come back. Oh, man. I'm like, what you mean, oh, man? He was, I gotta tell you something. I'm like, what you gotta tell me, though? I left my credit card at home? I'm like, because you had it when we first started. You had your credit card. And he was like, no, I have my credit card then, but when we went to the restaurant, I left my credit card there. I'm like, at hang times? Yeah, I ain't going back to hang times. You could call hang times and find out if they got your card and do all that, and they can mail it to you or something, but I ain't going back to hang time. We ain't going back to Tennessee. Why didn't you say something when we left? You was mad, and I didn't want to say nothing because you was mad. Because I was... Now I got to pay for the gas, the rental car, and all that, and you finna pay me back once you get the money. So, naturally, he has another credit card. But on this credit card, it's not his name on anything. It's this girl's name, which he paid her money so that he could use the card. I don't know what kind of arrangement they had. And I guess he went over a limit that he was supposed to spend that he gave her for. So she reported the card stolen. So now he's got a stolen credit card and he don't even know it. So he trying to get everything straight on the phone with her. And you only gave me this much money and you didn't spend way over that because you didn't win and bought some video game first. And then he's like, oh no, I thought it was, they put them charges on there already. I'm going to explain all that. Yeah, I'm going to hit you. I'm going to give you the money back. I got to do all this. So I'm like, now he got a stolen credit card. To pay for the gas. They finna come take the credit card from him. We got to sit there and wait till the police show up. He's got to go to the police station. They asking Leo all these questions about the stolen credit card that he got. And he's explaining the story to them. They got the lady on the phone. She was like, I just don't want him to use no more spending. They was, lady, if you gave him the card and you not saying it's stolen, you falsifyingly saying it's stolen. Just tell them to freeze the card so he can't use it. So she called him, they freeze it, they let him go after explaining the situation. They was like, just go. And now we are back behind schedule by another 3-4 hours getting to North Carolina. And I'm sitting here beside myself. I'm like, I can't believe this. I knew I shouldn't have brought this human being. So we go all the way down there now. We on track. We getting there. We're finally made it to North Carolina. Now we got to get dressed because the event is going on already. That's how late we had plenty of time to get there, get to the hotel room, shower, do all this. Now we got to get dressed in the car and in the gas station, in the bathroom of a gas station. So we go in the bathroom of the gas station. We get all dressed like, all right, come on, get your stuff ready. We go get our suits and stuff ready. We get in there and we get back on the expressway and he was like, man, I could drive now if you want because you drove a lot. And I'm like, nah, that's all right, I drive. Then as soon as I'm driving, we have to run into Mr. just incredibly prejudiced police officer who wanted to just pull us over. He saw all the cars go past. Zoom, 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 zoom. He saw 2 black guys in there. One with a hoodie on, and he was just like, let me get behind them. This man drove up past, looked into every car, and then he got next to us, looked in our car, whee, and just pulled us over. Like, well, you guys was kind of speeding back there. I'm like, then what about the 2 cars that was in front of us? If we were speeding and breaking the law, what was they doing? Because we would have ran right into them, right, officer? Get out the vehicle. Get out the vehicle. So he gets me out of the car. And I'm like, ain't this something? Then he's like, you got registration? I'm like, this is a rental. He's like, well, let me go see the rental papers. I go back to the car. He was, don't let him search the trunk, man. I got a whole thing of cigarettes in there. I'm like, what do you mean? When we was in Tennessee, I bought a whole bunch of cartons of cigarettes. They real cheap. And I could sell them when I get back home. So I don't know. He might trip if he see them cigarettes. He might think we hustling. So don't let him go in the trunk. I'm like, knew I shouldn't have brought this fool on this trip. So I give him you sure you guys ain't been drinking? I'm like, look at the way we dress. We're not from here. We drove from Chicago. This is a rental. We're going to a convention out here. We're on our way there. We're late. We're trying to get to the convention. So he got me sitting in here. He's like, come sit in the car with me. He got me sitting in the passenger seat while he's sitting there writing the ticket for speeding. Now, if I search the car, I ain't going to find any drugs. And I'm like, sir, look at the way we dress. We're going to a convention. We're not from North Carolina. Well, you got North Carolina plates. Just by happenstance, the rental car that we rented happened to have North Carolina plates. And we rented it from Chicago. I'm like, look, this is the rental papers. You see it came from Chicago. Now, just because the plates are North Carolina, I have no idea why that just happened to be. But I'm like, we got to drive this car here and drive it back, and it's cold. It's cold out. So It was ice and sleet and snow, and I'm like, dude, this sleet is cold out here. And I knew that cold, he wasn't finna have us standing out there. So he was like, you want to take this breathalyzer? I'm like, why do you insist that I'm drunk? But if it's going to help us get to the car faster so we can get to the event, fine, perfect. I'm like, we've been driving for like 12, 13 hours straight. Let me go ahead and get ready. If this is going to make you happy, then come on with it. So I blow into the thing and it come up 0, 0, 0 and all that stuff. Okay, here's your ticket. Gives me a ticket. Thank you. Let me just get up out of here, man. And slow down. Whatever you say. Let me get up out of here. We gotta go. I get in the car. I'm like, I'm gonna deal with you later. I'm gonna deal with you. Yeah, me and you, we finna deal later. But we gotta get to this event. We get to the event. Of course, it's already in progress. I come there. We finally make it. I'm like, dude, you don't even want to know what happened. So my cousin's like, oh, it ain't no problem. And this is my cousin's first time meeting this guy. Mike had met him before because he came to Chicago. My cousin wasn't with him. My cousin meet him for the first time. He was like, hey, what's up, Leo, man? What's up? And he makes a mistake and gets too close. I didn't get a chance to warn Cuz. Cuz got too close. I was like, so how you doing? He started saying something. Cuz is bald. But let me see. Yeah, he's kind of bald. His hair is like a little bit like mine, like it is now. Cuz linked in, and when he said like 3 words, every vein in Cuz' head just rolls up. I saw it just pop out of his head. I was like, dang, Cuz. I forgot to warn you. You cannot get that close. Cuz took a hit of that. Cuz told me, man, why didn't you tell me about this? Oh my God. He's like, my nose is like on fire. Like somebody just put 2 hot peppers in my nose and just squeezed them. It just shot in my brain, man. I couldn't see straight. Like I literally could not see straight. I'm like, dude, I believe you. I believe you 100%. I had to ride in the car like that. I almost put a tube in my mouth and put it outside the car window. This way I can survive. So anyway, this event's going on, and all these people, everybody in suits, and they're networking with people. So I'm looking at the table where he's at, because I'm doing my thing, networking, and I turn around and people are engaging with him, and I'm like, something's wrong over there. And I was like, let me just hear, because the guy's like, huh? What? And then the guy's like, I'm like, well, what's going on? He was like, oh, and then I'm kind of picking up on words, and I'm like, what's going on? Let me try to hear this. Hold up. I get close to the table. He was like, yeah. And, I come in, I produce the beats, and then I rap on a couple of tracks, and then I'm like, whoa, hold on here. And this guy's like, as soon as I came over, the guy's like, oh, okay, hey, how you doing? And got up and left. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, man, I'm trying to talk to them. I'm trying to get these people to buy some CDs. They want to buy some of my CDs. Dude, this is not that kind of business at all, dude. Nobody here is to buy your CD. This is not for you to sling CDs. This is not that kind of party, man. I'm like, go sit over there with Mike. Follow Mike. Let Mike take you around the way you got to be. Let Mike do all the talking. Don't say another word, man. So we get down there. This man's still trying to get to the nightclub, strip club that's in North Carolina. He's asking the COO of the corporation, yeah, what a strip club at around here, man? Because I know North Carolina, it got some strip clubs down here, man. Yeah, y'all got some hoes down here. His wife is right next to him. I was like, well, you just talking to the COO of the company. His wife is the chairman of the charity foundation and everything else, but you want to ask this man about a strip club. And he just naturally laughed him off. Oh, you dirty mother, in front of my wife. And walked off. Like, you're a friend. I'm like, he ain't my buddy. This guy is crazy. Now, going home, after all this, we really didn't have much of a problem. But right then and there, like, I was all about business until that little short, thick chick came in there and she needed help with her project. And I said, this is my opportunity here. And I got her to crack out of her shell and talk and express why she was doing the business and everything. And she opened up to the fact that her boyfriend didn't want her to come on this trip. She was wasting her money, but she had to jump out there and do something different. And this was it. And she ain't trying to focus on no man, no nothing. I'm like, great, this is perfect. And my cousin's like, man, I know you, man. Stop. I know what you finna do. Don't even do that. This girl is here for business. Do not mess with her. I'm like, look, I've had a terrible trip. This is finna make the day a lot better. If I can close this, business is done now. We're done. This is all hotel room time. And we stand in Cuz room. And then the girls wanted to like split the rooms, like for saving money. I'm like, oh, this is, that we had the conjoined rooms. I'm like, yeah, we need to just mix all this up. I'm like, look, you and her. And he was like, no, we used to date, me and her. Now we just business. She's on the team. This is bad. You'll mess up the whole team chemistry if we do this. I'm like, look, we can make this happen. You didn't tell me this short, thick girl was on the team. You know how I am with short, thick girls. You set a trap for me. This here is entrapment. Short, thick girl on the team and you ain't tell me? It's my duty. And she's in need. And I got that broken wing syndrome. I got to help. She's in need. And the boyfriend wasn't understanding. She wants to tell and get all that off her chest. I got her to reveal all that, her pain. This is what we do. So everything was going great. He was like, no, dude, you'll mess up the whole team because I know you. And he was right. I would have messed up the whole team because probably the next day I'd been like, all right, let's get to the business meeting. I mean, what are you holding my arm for? Let's hold hands. Let's go eat together. I mean, we're here for business. That stuff ended at 6 a.m. You know, and when I went to sleep and woke up, we focus. Let's go. We can probably do something before I leave, but we got to get back focused now. So, yeah, I would have ruined the whole team. Now, going back home, he was like, can we stop back at Hang Times and see if I can get that card? I'm like, I ain't going back to Hang Times. And when you get home, I got a bill for you. You paying this ticket. You paying for the rental car. You paying for everything I had to pay on this trip. Oh, man, I'm like, I'm going to give you a number. And don't think I ain't going to collect. I came over there. He told me what day. He forgot. He told me when he gets paid. I rung his bell. I never go to his